Yep,
All
yep.
right. I have pressed the recording button, and this is usually where something very silly happens. But we're not doing silly tonight. Everything will be totally serious. This is a very serious game of Dungeons and Dragons. There will be no joking around, no tangents going off in multiple directions at the same time. Not a single joke character is allowed this evening. Please note the robot over to the side, hammering in the sign that says "No fun allowed."
Bye then.
50% of my players, at the very least, would have to leave if I said no joke characters, and also most of my NPCs. So that's not actually going to be a thing.
D&D group.
Hello, and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. Tonight I am joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, and Milo. And it has been some time since we were able to get together and play. Who remembers what happened last time?
I have no idea.
After
He hunted orc. He's an orc, right? Or half orc? Sorry.
Orc.
After our last mission, we had a chill time and we went shopping, and I once again destroyed at the talent night. Me and A did fantastic. And then the thing is, it really sucked because other people's performances got stopped by this person, I think Lich, who came and stopped time to chat with us, and then discovered the fact that my my blood alcohol content is fatal, but that's fine. I'm doing great. And then we had a long conversation about who my god is, because I don't know. And and then we're going to our timeshare meeting.
Yes, because you picked up the quest for listening to a wonderful pitch for a fabulous timeshare in sunny Plantain, which is Fantasy, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Not my creation, it's Eric's creation. I just keep rolling with it because it's glorious. I've been to Florida twice in my life, but I'm pretty sure I've got it nailed down.
I'm for my Fantasy Hilton Honors Rewards points.
And
Which one?
Sorry?
I didn't catch all of that. Rewards points.
I didn't quite get that either.
Hilton vacation rewards points.
Oh, no, you're not spending the night at a Hilton, but you will be seeing this pitch in a Fantasy Hilton.
Yeah, so the thing is, no. So the thing is, I've been to these meetings before. They offer you 1,500 points if you go through the meeting and sign up with them. We are going to get these points. I'm going to have a night at Fantasy Yen Sid.
Did you sign up for the Fantasy Hilton Rewards Points program?
I'm going to at the luncheon. I'm ready. My pen is ready.
Concerning.
Okay, but you will need...
brochure with all the different locations we're allowed to go to, and I'm circling them all with smiley faces.
Sir, we understand. And where is that music coming from? Why? It sounds like it's in my head. Sir, but seriously, we understand your enthusiasm for this program, but we do need you to have 2 different forms of ID and proof of vaccination. Do you have 2 forms of ID and proof of vaccination with you?
Do you vaccinate a paladin?
Yeah, and I guess I have my paladin license, my party ID.
Your paladin license is just someone else's business card, but on the back you wrote, "I'm a paladin, yo."
Also, here is my patent for the cheg stand.
Okay, we'd have to actually turn this over to our business office, but I might actually be able to contact them regarding this. One moment, please. But back up a bit, because right at the end of the last session, a thing happened.
We hugged an orc.
Yes, we need to resolve the fact that Cavil is hugging orcs willy-nilly.
Hobby, not Cavil.
Hobby, not Cavil. Cavil's currently, I'm going to say canonically up near the ceiling, may or may not be stuck, may or may not be brooding dramatically, may or may not be pretending to do all these things because Cavil has Converse sneakers of flying now.
Right.
And now Cavil can get up higher than the Tabaxi can in their Tabaxi tree. Another canonical thing that I have added to the game.
Oh no, this is going to make the sibling dominance thing so much more fascinating.
When in doubt, fly to the ceiling and hover upside down to insert dominance. Yes.
That's how you
When in
do it.
doubt, sit on your sibling.
That's also how everyone below you gets loose change. Oh, wow, a guitar pick! Cavill, I don't think plays guitar, but never mind about that.
Actually, I think they were sleeping. They were probably sleeping in, and Hobby went to breakfast.
Well, at this particular moment that took place right at the end of the last session, an orc in full plate came up and introduced themselves to Hobby, made it clear that this was not their first interaction with Tabaxi today, because they had... This orc had directions and a description, but neither of them was 100% precise. And one of those was for a moving target. In the case of Tabaxi, sometimes a bit more moving than usual. Some Tabaxi are known to gallop, particularly that one named Pev over there. Yes.
Stand
Oh,
on
wait.
top like muffin.
No. Yeah. Whatever. Moving forward. I think this is
Before
forward.
we
It
start-
could be sideways. It could be crab walk. Yes.
I just wanted to let everybody know that tonight's session has been brought to you by Crispin Glover's Hover Covers. For when your sideways skateboard is just too dusty.
Thank you.
Solid.
If I'm going to get
Oh.
interrupted for anything, it needs to be an ad break. This is glorious. I love everything about this. I love playing with my circle of friends. This is my therapy. I am not a licensed therapist. If you need therapy, there's no shame in that. Get a licensed therapist to help you out. It has helped me out. I'm only joking by saying this is my therapy. If you need help, get it. Seriously. But moving forward, or crab walking sideways, whichever, one of those. This is a serious
you can
game.
support us by going to BetterHelp. No,
Wait.
We do not actually have a sponsor.
but BetterHelp, if you'd like to sponsor us, you can find us at
Crash at aaronbsmith.com. Moving sideways. That's moving sideways is not part of the email address yet. I mean, not with that attitude. So Emerson introduced himself and said that he was a paladin of Teriush, and
Glom!
was immediately glomped. After which he said, "We need to talk. I think a rib just cracked."
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's in
that's
plate.
better. Is that a dent? Did you? I'll back it
Wow.
out later. Yeah. We need to talk. People don't usually have frequent conversations with their deities here. Maybe it's different where you come from, but in this particular case,
They're alive?
and very, very confused. I want this silence to be canon, where there's just this moment where there is a gruff-looking, very stoic orc paladin staring at a tabaxi who may or may not have eyes the size of dinner plates.
Faced. Glimmering.
Yes, definitely the whole cat dilation thing where it goes from just the little almond shape to full-blown circle
Mhm.
has
And then
happened,
the
I'm
rest-
sure.
And then the rest got really big as well because this is full anime, giant, happy, little clasped hands in front.
Although the tail might be twitching.
Just a little.
So you heard me, right? About the confused part? Are you... Emerson waves a hand in front of your face. Are you
Can I help?
under
Can I
the
help?
effect of a hold person spell?
No. I don't think you put hold person on me to make me
Okay.
stop hugging you.
Okay.
Did you?
Do you understand why or how you managed to confuse a god?
No. They're alive. They're alive. They're alive. They're alive.
Yes, and have
They're
been
alive.
for some time, which is a good thing overall.
Uh-huh.
Why are you trying to give power to a god?
Because that's what you do to make sure that well, I mean, I guess to make sure the god is strong, but I mean, I wasn't sure if they were alive yet.
So you were trying to give power to a god that may or may not have existed and may or may not have been dead.
Am I anywhere
Yes.
near this?
You can be if you want
Good
to.
question.
There are other people who have been in earshot. Most are now starting to give a very wide berth or finding other things to do.
I mean, I've heard worse decisions.
You've had characters
Even
make
for my
worse
god's
decisions.
I think Mech is standing nearby, just kind of with her eyes blinking because she can't process what this is.
So most of the people in this guild hall are edging away. Members of the party are edging closer.
That's how you know it's your
There's a
That's how you
reason
know
that
who's in
we're
your
a party.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's how you know who's in your party. They're the ones getting closer when you start talking about giving levels to a god.
Meanwhile, canonically, Cavil is still somewhere up there on the ceiling. May have actually gotten stuck at this point. Is pulling at their cloak in a way that says, "It's not really stuck. I meant to do this. It's just this one spot where the support beam is hitting this other support beam gets narrow very fast." And I was just dusting it. You know what?
Mhm.
I see you're all very busy. Carry on. You don't need to mind. Why do I feel like you're all staring at me?
That's okay.
Ta-da!
That's all right. Hoppy is still just standing there with her eyes huge and her hands clasped under her chin and her tail sort of going happy little twitch.
By the way,
Staring
no
up
one
at
is looking at.
Emerson.
By the way, no one is
No.
looking at Cavil at all.
Poor Cavil.
Current situation is more confusing.
Pardon me.
Yes,
I may be able to shed some light on the situation.
please do.
We
I
come
dunno.
from a distant place where the gods are under threat and require power to fend off this existential threat to everything.
Wait, they do?
That's what all the warlocks were doing after they died.
Oh.
At least the ones who swore to, I probably shouldn't say his name.
And this is part of the problem. You see, like what you're trying to do, it's like being a warlock but backwards.
Oh, it's what
Yes,
sometimes
that sounds about right.
it's what people did sometimes to try to wake them up again.
Well, we have this thing here called coffee. It's
don't know
really
how to-
good.
I don't know
Do
how
the
to send
gods
coffee
drink
to a god.
coffee?
Probably.
No, you don't need to send it. We already have it. We have lots.
I love it.
And well, Terry-ish is very happy for you and glad you want to help. Maybe,
They're alive.
yes. Maybe you don't keep trying to send them your own power because that just makes you weaker and less able to help.
It is
That's-
a habit that is no longer necessary, and we will try to break it.
I mean, I
Okay,
wouldn't
wait.
be do. They're alive. They're alive. They're alive. So I don't.
You
I
know,
mean, if they wanted, then of course I could still. But if they don't want, then I won't bother them with that. But they're alive.
Emerson turns over to Tex and says, you know, I've been described as a grizzled veteran, but still, having a 7-foot-tall murder machine say, we will try to break it, has some ominous undertones that I'm not entirely sure you meant.
So the thing is the fact that for once you actually need to be more like me and just enjoy your powers instead of like think too much about them.
They're
Every fiber of my being wants you to not take that advice.
Also, am I super incorrect?
Every fiber of my being regrets that you kind of are.
Hey, I do have a positive wisdom score, okay?
I'm
I'm
loving
so-
everything about this interaction. I'm looking forward to the next part of this adventure, but if this goes on for 2 hours, I'm still okay with it.
+2 to my wisdom, okay? Sometimes I say smart things.
Yes, but Emerson wishes it wasn't smart in that way,
I know.
and he just met you.
I'm used to it.
They're not the
Anyway.
twice dead god. They're alive.
To my knowledge, they've never been dead. I mean, they did ascend to take over after a different god died, but that's a long story.
Y'all
Power
none of
history
it
got
is as
lost
well.
in. I bet some of it got lost in translation, old stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff got like destroyed or put in stasis, and you can't really ask somebody in stasis about the teachings very well, so it kind of gets passed on.
Okay.
You know. How people remember it.
I'm starting to get confused myself, but
Oh,
Ours is
Still
also a
lunch.
complicated story.
I imagine
Everything went-
so.
everything went really bad, and I gave almost all of my levels my power, but it didn't wake them up. So then we had to go back and stop the horrible threat from being a horrible threat.
Well,
And we kind of destroyed our future, probably, but that's okay because it sucked.
well, it does sound like you're a ragtag
Let's
band
just
of
move
adventurers,
on.
so all of this tracks.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, message delivered. Here, take this pamphlet. And Emerson awkwardly pulls a somewhat crumpled pamphlet out of his armor and hands it to you. So you decided to serve Teriash. Now,
It is
If-
being hugged. The pamphlet is being hugged.
if you don't mind, I need to get back because an Asimar and a flying dog need help with a goblin child.
Quite understandable. Please have
Not
a lovely
exactly.
day.
That's a strange combination, but all right.
Those are words that I never thought I would use in that combination. But
Yes.
the
This is
more I
why it's
explain
quite
it,
understandable.
the more I explain it, the more you would understand why it's important. Have
Thank
a
you
wonderful
for coming.
day.
Hobby is going to hug Emerson around the neck again. Sproing, grab,
It was
clean,
nice to meet
rub,
you.
rub
Can I
face.
grab Javi
Hug.
and drag him towards the lunch?
Her.
Give me a grapple check.
Let's see.
Next,
That's a
just gonna
strength
watch
check,
how
right?
this goes. Yeah, I think
for-
it is.
It'd be a strength check. And Javi,
No.
give me a contested roll. It can be strength or dexterity.
Dexterity, huh?
It's not gonna.
Oh no!
You're gonna win.
It might still happen.
Give it a try.
Pretty terrible roll.
No, well, the
Mine was
the
worse.
bonus was +5, so the only way to fail would be to roll in that one.
Yeah.
There's still
This is what-
5% chance of that.
I mean, obviously, what happens is that Hobby gets grabbed and then turns into a liquid, and you sort of pull and the body comes out of the arms and returns to.
Then
Yes.
it's still enough to let you know, like, okay, come on, let the poor man be.
You have effectively petted the kitty instead of stopping the kitty from choking the paladin to death.
Oh no!
Okay.
The paladin who probably feels conflicted about doing anything hostile against a fellow follower of Teriash who doesn't have many followers right now. So you don't want to lower that number.
Yeah,
Hobby
the paladin
will
of parties trying to keep everything good.
Also,
Hobby-
free lunches in that direction.
Yeah.
Hobby will sort of remember, oh right, this is a busy paladin, and will simply lick him on the cheek affectionately and let go. And say, safe travels!
Emerson takes 1 damage from the rough tongue.
Necessarily. It's not that rough.
I do then turn to Hobby and I'm like, Hobby, it's a
Yeah?
party foul to lick people.
Not
You
without
don't
their
lick
permission.
people. You don't.
Else are you
Emerson.
supposed to wash them?
I believe we have a lunch to go to. Enjoy
All
the rest
right.
of your day.
We're going to go share time.
Exactly. We need to
Something
go
like
get our
that.
food and share time.
We have time to share, honestly. I mean,
Go,
it
let's
was
go.
it was terrible time, and I think we kind of gave it away mostly, but I have a painful.
At this point, Chadwick is walking away. A is walking with Chadwick because Chadwick is the only member of the party who didn't play a role in the death of A's clan. So if the rest of you decide you're not going to get the free lunch, that's more for A.
Ah, I see.
And they're halfway to the door.
Hobby, why don't you ride on my shoulder?
Question: how tall is Hobby? Like compared
Hobby's-
to Hero?
Hobby is actually a short tabaxi. She was probably malnourished as a kitten, and is let's see. I think I've written it down here. Notes, description, notes, appearance. No, I didn't have that part. She's small for a tabaxi.
Yeah, like how tall?
Probably in the 5 foot and a few inches level.
That's a-
She is not tall like most tabaxi.
That's adorable.
She's tiny. She's like a munchkin tabaxi.
Yeah, and like, did you know how tall Hero was as like a I don't know,
7 foot
10-year-old
tall
child?
tabaxi child. Became
it
a
is.
meme.
I found it. 5'1". She
Oh,
is
adorable.
5'1". Yes, she's
Shorter
she's
than me.
Dinky. She is a dinky tabaxi. She's short.
Hero was like a 10-year-old child and was 7 feet.
A 10-year-old child that was put in a role of responsibility because reasons.
God, because everyone
Um,
kept setting fire to my house.
Which is currently, well, it was currently your location. We are time skipping to when you arrive at your destination.
Thank you.
Yes, which is still on the island of Flotsam, still in the same city. It's down near the Harbor District. It's the Fantasy Hilton, which is right down the road from the Fantasy Costco.
Oh,
The
my
Fantasy
dreams come true.
Costco is also in the Harbor District because it's right near all the warehouses, so it works out
No,
pretty
I was
well.
just at Costco. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, but you weren't at Fantasy Costco. It wasn't Garfield the Deals Warlock who brought you all of your items for curbside pickup.
No. It was Costco and the magic of gas for $3.40 a gallon. Still magical.
Welcome to Car Talk. No.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. Uh-huh.
So you arrive at the Fantasy Hilton, and it looks like a pretty nice building. There's a stable over to the side with some horses with rims attached to them. That's a little weird. I need to change a map
Oh.
Oh, map.
Yep.
Map.
because I have a map.
You have a map?
Yes, you know,
my
if you want to
party
find a map for like dark dungeons or cave systems or ruined towers, there's so many of them out there that you can just use. If you want to find a map for a hotel lounge, that's actually a bit harder. But I have a map for you.
By the way, my
There
13
it is.
was roll was for my party sense to see how I could tell how the hotel felt.
How the hotel feels?
Yeah.
I suppose you could have a good party in it, but really the true party is the party you bring with you. So you could have a party anywhere. But
Good thing I
this-
always have a party with me.
Yes, you do. This locale seems more geared towards business parties, which are a bit more uptight than you enjoy until after everyone else has had their third cheg stand.
Oh, cool. I see the room we're going into.
So you've come up the stairs and you are in it's not the lobby, but it's like the area you go into before you can go into the lobby. And there is a little old lady who is currently labeled staff right here, who is pushing a cart across the way covered in boxes. Oh, welcome. The lounge is right this way. That's where the sign is for the event.
I'm already in there.
All right. Well,
Chatter teleports to the far side of the lounge.
I got us the big booth.
Yes.
For the benefit of anybody not reading the chat, I straight up
You
cannot
can't
see
see
the
it.
map. So
Ooh.
if you refresh,
That's
will
ungood.
it help?
I have refreshed many times. I have cleared the cache. I have closed the window and reopened it. I have tried a different browser window.
I was wondering if you'd done that. Yeah.
What if
map
I
on my
try
browser, but-
changing the map?
I can see the
Nope,
see the map. I
gone.
just can't see us.
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
I'm changing the map. I changed it back to the old one, and
can't.
now I'm changing it to the
It's
new one.
loading.
again.
It's loading.
Loading.
No, I can't see anything.
Oh no.
Did you see it go back to the old one?
Nope.
Owlbear is
Weird.
angry at Ellie in particular.
Apparently.
Indeed.
But yes, I've chosen this corner booth here.
This
Let
is
me-
annoying. I'm gonna pause the recording.
Don't worry about it.
You sure?
It works in Chrome.
Oh,
You made
I'm so sorry for you.
yeah. I avoid Chrome. I'm using
Yeah, I-
Safari.
Mm-mm. Yeah, me
It's-
and my good friend Firefox.
Imagine
I've
that
used
we
Firefox
had.
for things as well.
Imagine
It
that we
doesn't
had a
work on my
half-hour
version.
rant about web browsers here that I just cut out.
That's fine.
Actually, that's an interesting question. I should try it in my ancient Safari. I bet it won't work.
Depends on how ancient. I mean, I've got like the latest one, I guess. And
Try 10 or 11 years.
oh,
Yikes.
yeah.
Find out.
Okay, well, while this is going on,
Uh-huh.
A tries to follow Chadrick, but can't keep up with Chadrick's sudden found ability to teleport. Most paladins do not have this talent. But with the option of getting one of those booth areas like in a Perkins in the corner that you can slide around in.
Yeah.
Chadrick was just drawn to this magnetically.
Come on, little buddy.
And as A's going past, A stops to look at the giant hippo people and the people who are very clearly a ragtag band of adventurers. 3 of them are blue. Now that's a little weird.
Probably beat out to die.
Yeah. And it occurs to me that I never opened up my notes for this adventure
Oops.
because that's where I put all the names for the characters.
Oh.
We're just winging it.
I've been winging it the whole time from memory, which is probably not the best thing to do since the last time I looked at my notes was a month ago.
Oh. Yeah, that's a thing.
Pack Tactics Season 4 is not where the notes are.
Oh, oh no.
I mean, I could look there for the notes. It'd be very confusing. A cleric artificer named Mori greets you. No. There's also a small goblin yelling murder with their hands on fire.
Kenku?
No. Kobold. But that would be a different campaign entirely. Oh, wow. This is great. It's a kobold cave, but it's made of chairs. A immediately starts moving cushions around to make a little fort.
Okay.
With A. That sounds like so much fun.
A is small enough that A can do this with only a few cushions.
Dang it. I'm here. I'm still here for it. I'm giving him advice.
Oh, Tex is going to steal cushions from vacant booths. To help the effort.
Mac is going to sit in the first seat in case danger occurs.
We're
And,
about
you
to
know,
be kicked out of the Fantasy Hilton.
Probably.
This is not where I thought the plot would go, but the first rule of playing Dungeons & Dragons is nothing's going to go in the direction you think it's going to go.
The second rule is you don't talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
No, that's a different club.
Hobby is, Hobby is sitting on the back of the little couch there as much as possible and perusing her pamphlet.
Okay. I'm not going to make a roll to sit on the back of a couch. I am, however, going to ask that anyone who's attempting to build a cushion fort make a sleight of hand check.
15.
With a 15, you are able to stack the cushions high enough that if you sat down, you could hide inside it.
Perfect. I am smothered by cushion.
And now I'm going to roll for A. With a roll of 12, A's cushion fort, the original cushion fort, the definite article, if you will, collapses and knocks over Chadrick's fort.
It's community all over again.
There's 1 foot sticking out from the pile of cushions. It's probably A's foot because it's scaly and has claws.
No,
And the toes are wiggling.
no. I dive into the cushions with A, and then I pretend that was our whole goal the whole time.
Bad as a tabaxi here.
Mac has no interest in making a cushion fort because it would be in the way if something bad happens.
All right, one of the hippo people comes over.
I stick my hand out of the pile of cushions and like salutations.
Hello! And for the record, for the sake of this recording, because this is an audio format, so the audience can't just zoom in on the map, and well, some of us couldn't zoom in the map either. Imagine, if you will, an anthropomorphic hippo, proportioned like you would imagine an anthropomorphic hippo to be proportioned, but they're wearing a British colonial outfit, in the vein where you think they might be about to break into song about being Major General.
Now
And the
it's in
very
my
model
head.
of a hippo major general.
They have a
Poor
monocle,
little orphan boy.
Oh.
what appears to be a pipe that could very be well, it could be from a steampunk convention. And also they are carrying a smoothbore musket, because of course they are.
Orphan boy.
Hopefully holstered. I mean, we are in a hotel after all.
Well,
Hello.
they're just carrying it.
Have you
Casual.
ever known what it is to be an orphan?
What a paradox.
I don't understand the question, but I was just wondering if you're okay. There seems to be some structural irregularities with this wonderful fort you've been building.
I'm teaching little buddy here the ways of fort making. Don't worry, we're Gucci.
Awesome. I
It's
don't know what Gucci
Training.
means, but I'm sure that is something similar to extravagant.
yeah.
You'll note that these cushions, while very, very squishy, could still, depending on the distance of the blast, absorb a significant amount of shrapnel. So, excellent choice in building material.
Thanks for letting us know about the extra cool qualities of the cushions.
Yes. I had attempted to do a stress test, but I was shouted down by several of the staff.
Weird.
I mean, they'd have to replace it, so I understand them being protective about their cushions.
I don't understand the statement.
They'd have to replace them.
Yes, I don't understand why that's relevant.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well.
are you here for the free lunch as well?
yes.
Ah, wonderful. This is one of the rare opportunities that my kind encounter. Most planets we visit don't give us opportunity to buy land. They usually are saying things like, no, get away, and why are you here, and put that keg away. Things like that.
Keg.
Keg?
Keg, yes.
Oh boy.
Keg.
Well, gunpowder, of course.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll use kegs to carry other things also. A slight amount of alcohol helps keep water potable over long expanses of time. That's more in the lines of my compatriot over there. And as this hippo person motions, the other hippo person who has been watching you from a couch that is slightly lower than the other couches because apparently he's been sitting on it, waves and goes, "Hello!"
Wave.
My pile of cushions.
All I heard was my pile of cushions.
I'm not leaving my pile of cushions.
You can wave from it.
And that's what I am. There's just a hand sticking out.
And sticking out waving.
There is a chime that rings through the lobby. And give me a second here.
Bobby will put her pamphlet away very safely.
And you hear a voice come through a speaker above you. Or maybe it's a magic mouth, who knows. You are in a town that was partially founded by Ogmanites. There's no clue as to whether you're encountering something that is magical, technological, or a combination of both. If it's throwing sparks, that doesn't end up being a clue.
It could be an evil magic cotton candy machine that kills you.
It didn't kill you. You weren't even here at the time. That was an unrelated tabaxi who is now banned from the island after multiple fires broke out.
Not even my fault.
That was the argument that the tabaxi was made. But in this case, you, Chadrick, are correct. It was not your fault, which is why you're welcome here. Back to the voice coming through the speakers or whatever it is in the ceiling. Welcome, all guests who are here for the timeshare luncheon. The luncheon will be held in Meeting Room 1. Please, everyone, converge on Meeting Room 1.
Meeting one.
I say, that's an excellent use of the word converge. It accurately describes the kind of enterprise that is being performed here at this moment.
Okay.
Chadwick
well,
has teleported again,
yes.
or perhaps has flash moved, because as Chadwick, as you rush into this room, there is a small cart next to this person here who is just labeled frugal
Yeah.
that is covered in boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And he's holding one box out for you, and you just sort of ram past him to the next cushion.
Thank you. Sit back down.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, I'm very excited to hear about the possibilities of the timeshare.
I'm gonna go back and pull I out from under the cushions.
For the best, I'm going to move all these NPCs that I have provided.
Okay. All right, let's just go into the room somewhere. Here, I'll sit here.
Bobby wants to be on the back of the couch again.
Okay.
I love Albert Rodeo. It is so useful. At the same time, by the way,
You have to
Emerson's not here,
describe
ignore
what's
that.
happening. No, Emerson.
Or Cavill.
No. Cavill is probably missing the appointment because of flying shoes.
Cavill is, I will say, canonically learning loop-de-loops.
Zooming
This-
through the sky.
Barrel rolls have already been performed. That was
Probably
mastered
make-
immediately.
Look, they're probably making a TikTok vid right now.
Somewhere else entirely, on vacation, Mo is just like, why am I getting this image of of Cabell flying in loops, and why does it keep repeating? And what's that music playing?
Cash it all ever wanted.
Usually I review my notes before we meet, but then we talked instead of me reviewing my notes.
Right.
About that.
That's a
This
me
is me
problem,
going
not a
to the
you
meeting
problem.
Room.
What's that?
This gift is me going to the meeting room.
This is Chadwick's perspective at the beginning when it's slow motion, because Chadwick's like, I might not make it to the lunch in time.
What if I don't get first dibs?
By the way, the boxes are labeled. There's one third of the boxes are labeled turkey, 1/3 of the boxes are labeled ham, and 1/3 of the boxes are labeled vegetarian. A grabbed one of each.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fine.
Omnivore.
I grabbed Lunchable.
I do not eat.
I do not eat
Food.
either.
I grabbed Fresh Meat Lunchable.
By the way, I rolled a 10 on A's sleight of hand check, so A tried to sneak 2 of them while grabbing 1. Everyone sees that A has done this.
Aww.
Everyone
That's fine.
accepts that A has done this.
And
Yes.
A can have my share as far as I'm concerned.
Same.
Yeah, true. Fair.
That's the wrong roll. That's the one I want. Okay.
A makes a performance check.
Hobby will
Well, no. I was looking for another skill that begins with P. I was looking for perception. I wanted to see if A noticed that everyone noticed. With a 15, A notices that you have noticed and sort of
Aw.
sheepishly grins, which a sheepish grin, when you have as many teeth as a kobold, doesn't look as sheepish as you think it does.
I think A is adorable.
Yes.
But I also think that A is like a perfect specimen of perfection.
A perfect specimen of perfection. I love it. So this person who's just labeled frugal is making sure you are all handed your lunches. Minehead and Aldershot, the 2 hippo people, the 2 GIF, go, oh, wonderful! This is all organized so nicely. And they each pull an entire shelf off of the cart covered in boxes.
They're hippos.
Yeah. Minehead goes and sits down on this couch over here. The sides come up off of the ground
Oh no.
when Minehead sits down.
Hippos.
When Minehead puts the shelf from the cart on top of the small coffee table in front of him, the sides of the couch go down just slightly, but they don't actually touch the ground. And Aldershot is looking for a spot able to accommodate Aldershot, and they see the spot over here. So they're just going to sit right here for now. Hobby, I'd like you to make a dexterity
Oh
save.
no. Flying cat.
Dex save, you say?
Yes, it might not be a flying cat. It might be fine.
Okay.
It'd
All
be
right.
perfectly fine. Okay, so you got a 15, A got a 19. You're at a 45-degree angle, but also cat, so this is fine.
It's very simple. Hobby is just going to prop one foot on the gift's shoulder and be completely, yes, this is all fine and reasonable, and I'm exactly where I want to be lounging.
A is making use of their newfound skill in cushion rearrangement to make their spot be level, even though nothing else is. All right. Well, welcome, everyone, to this wonderful opportunity that you all have available to you. I'm sorry, this is a wide variety of people here. This is wonderful. Simply wonderful. I'm just slightly concerned about the deposit I paid for the room, but never mind about any of that. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Starting with, sorry.
Oh.
Oh,
There he is.
if you
Sorry,
want
my
to,
brain did a zone out.
if you want to cut off Frugal, go right ahead. But Frugal is trying to politely point towards individuals to introduce themselves.
No, this was out of character. That was me not reading a map.
That is also okay. Starting with, let's start perhaps over here. Yes, you, the non-blue one, at the table. My name is Jex. I'm a bard. Ah, wonderful. Very charismatic. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. And you, there is a rogue who refers to herself as Dirge. Kurg is a warrior. Stop me if you've heard this one. Or fighter, rather. And Fori there is a wizard.
Explain the swirl.
Yes.
Like, what is it?
Kurg, Fori, and Dirge are all blue-skinned beings. That they have pointed ears. They're probably not water genasi,
Probably.
but they haven't said what species they are. And you've already met Aldershot and Minehead, the two Jiff Spelljammer explorers. I say, this is a very nice place. Much more swanky than the location that Mo paid for us to stay in. Oh, yes, certainly. We should see about upgrading our rooms.
GIF are one of those species where they all sound alike if you're not a GIF, but if you are a GIF, you can tell the difference.
Well, you can believe that if you want, but we have trouble telling the difference, too. We can't even get the name of our species straight. Everyone thinks it's GIF. It's honestly GIF. Says you.
Hello, my name is CRC F27TX841. I was a member of a peacekeeping squad assigned to continue the pacification of this planet long after the world had been conquered. I would like to relax.
Well,
It's your turn.
I like that you said it's your turn, but we have no indication about who that
Don't
is.
know who you're talking to.
Hobby, sorry. Hobby, it's your turn.
It could be anyone who wants to be their turn.
We're going in a circle.
Hobby, Tabaxi, she, her pronouns. A, your turn.
I'm A. They, them right now, I guess. That's subject to change.
Aww.
It's been other things before. I'm sort of in a... That's personal, never mind. You never saw me. I wasn't here. Ninja vanish! And A throws down something on the ground, and it just scatters. And like, oh wait, no, that wasn't the Ninja vanish power. That was the pocket sand. Oh, I'm bad at this.
Hey, you'll
It's
get
okay.
right.
Just get in your cushion. Just get back in your cushions.
I am in my safe place. A hotel
Yes.
cushion.
So hey, I'm Chadrick McCoolguy. I'm the paladin of parties, and I'm here to party. Let's enjoy this lunch party. And I sit back down.
By the way, for anyone who has opened the lunch, it contains a sandwich. It contains a prepackaged bag of chips. It contains one heavily cellophane-wrapped cookie. A single pickle in a paper bag.
Pickle.
Yes, in a
like
paper
this.
bag. That it has clearly been in this paper bag for some time.
It actually
Drippy
is
paper bag.
awful.
And several condiments and disposable silverware. The silverware appears to be made out of carved bamboo. Poorly carved bamboo.
A little packet of mayonnaise, one.
Yes. By the way, if you open the vegetarian meal, it is what appears to be some grass clippings and leaves.
I assume A just eats it anyway.
Ooh, that's really good. There's no stuff like it at home.
Seems so.
Ooh, free caterpillar.
Mac.
Is that technically vegetarian? How does that work?
To ask.
I mean, you are what you eat, and the caterpillar eats plants, so I guess.
All right. Sure.
Mac,
Oh,
what's your
I-
name?
does
Oh,
that make
right.
me a caterpillar?
I'm distracted by the small kobold at the moment. Okay.
All is
so,
going according to plan.
Uh-huh. So my name is Mech. It is an acronym. I was once a bounty hunter, and now I am here. And I blinked my eyes a couple times.
Well, wonderful. You all appear to be ragtag adventurers, except for our companions from the stars. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is great because you are... I just got a pop-up telling me that A rolled something. I'm not clicking any buttons.
Alarming.
Why is it now
Okay.
telling me that A rolled a sleight of hand check and got a 10?
The cushions. The cushions.
The cushion tower collapses. A is now sitting in Aldershot's lap. very awkwardly for both of them.
Oh no.
Aldershot gives A a couple pats on the head. A looks mortified.
Oh no.
For
Ragtag
a handout.
adventurers and travelers are just the clientele we're looking for. You see, land prices in Plantain are going up and up and up. It is a wonderful, fantastic destination. Summer, year-round, wonderful beaches on all sides of it, depending on whether or not it's monsoon season, and a scenic volcano constantly spewing out ash, usually out to sea, so you don't need to worry about it. But with that said, if you take a single home and divide up the time of residence into smaller chunks, you can split the cost of that home many different ways, making it much more easy to manage. And as traveling adventurers, you probably don't spend too much time hanging around home anyway, so it's a great way to plan ahead for a vacation destination without having to pay for a hotel stay. And you just hear one of the staff members from the other side of the door going, I heard that! You heard nothing. Right, well, I would love to show you these floor plans I have here, and Frugal walks over to this easel. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name, for anyone who might be interested in knowing this, is something that the DM wrote down and totally forgot where it was. Give me a second here.
Hi,
yes.
Frank.
No, my name is Frugal Flower Crown. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he goes over to his little easel that has a bunch of poster boards on it. And the one on top just has this aerial painting of Plantain, an artist rendition, which may or may not have a giant lizard rampaging in the background that appears to have been added in crayon. You may have seen those crayons in A's possession earlier, but you cannot prove anything.
A was with me the entire time
Clearly.
and could not possibly have done this.
Also, A might have picked them up from somewhere else after the deed was done.
Indeed.
Possession does not... What is going
What is
on?
happening there?
Why is there a giant Utashi on the map?
A shadow Itachi from my perspective.
That's what I'm saying as well.
From another world with no kobolds except for a handful of shipwrecked travelers, a giant kobold head appears and disrupts the meeting. Not the worst thing to happen in any of my campaigns. Probably the worst thing to happen to Frugal today.
The giant. It was the first giant lizard I could find.
There we go.
Dang it, that's inspiration. Right, well, and Frugal moves the first poster board. And by the way, who's eating lunch?
Nope.
Nope.
Hobby is actually not, because she's saving it for later, or possibly for A, or maybe going to wave the pickle at Cavill afterwards. This is what you missed.
The to make a Bloody Mary later.
You're saving the what to make a Bloody Mary later?
The pickle.
Oh, okay.
You put pickles in. I mean, why not just put a cucumber in there? It'll self-pickle.
The pickle juice adds additional pickle.
Yeah, part of it.
I would use Sully good pickles with alcohol.
Frugal
Don't
is
ask why
starting
they
to
make
look...
that drink.
I'm going to assume this is an in-character conversation because it's funnier, and Frugal is starting to look just a little frustrated. A, by the way, is digging scraps out of the third box, has been tossing the other boxes behind themselves, which is very entertaining because they have to toss them pretty high to get over Aldershot. Some of them have taken 2 or 3 tries. Aldershot is just being very stoic about it. In one case, he picked up a box that had landed on one of his pauldrons and just tossed it the rest of the way over his shoulder because he's new here. He doesn't know the customs. He figures that's what you're supposed to do.
Hobby will catch the boxes and set them down.
I was
not
going to
messily.
say if A is tossing them over Aldershot, then Tex will be catching them.
Tex can catch the ones on that side. Hobby will catch the ones on the other, and just sort of set them down semi-neatly behind the thing.
The problem is Aldershot has decided that since this is the custom, Aldershot is also tossing his boxes over his shoulder.
That's fine.
Catch, set, catch, set.
That sounds very cat. You know?
There is a crunching sound because Aldershot is just and Minehead, both of them are pouring the contents into their mouth and chewing and tossing the box over their shoulder.
Ugh. Ugh.
Bamboo is edible. The silverware is made of bamboo.
I'm just thinking about like the sound that's making.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah, it's
mean-
a crunching sound.
If you've heard a hippo eat, there you go.
Yeah, so we all know exactly what that sounds like now.
Yes.
Definitely.
For sure.
Okay.
I go to the zoo a lot.
This place is a zoo. We've got hippos, we've got kitties, we've got giant lizards, we got blue people, we've got whatever species Frugal is.
Robot maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Animatronics.
Indeed.
Frugal is a human.
Okay.
Although
Okay, we got
maybe
primates.
Frugal's a fire genasi because Frugal's face is getting redder and redder.
Hobby is trying to pay attention while catching boxes and setting them
Yes,
down
it's-
nicely.
Same. I
Hobby
am
did-
trying to make sure that I catch what Frugal is saying.
All right. Well,
Calm emotions on Frugal.
Good idea.
what's the save for that?
Charisma 14.
It's a good thing I have stats for this person.
I'm just
Okay.
hear the
this is
soothing
fine.
sound of my dubstep.
This is fine.
Oh, actually,
Find my
it's-
happy
it's a-
place.
It's a sphere of 20 feet to everyone.
I think that catches half
You
the other group and
No. If
Minehead.
Chadrick centers it in the middle of your gathering, it's going to hit
Oh.
everyone.
I want
okay,
everyone to calm down.
that's probably fair.
Okay, find my happy place, find my happy place. There it is. The calm ocean waves of Plantain. Remember your raison d'etre. Remember we've been playing for about an hour, so we should take a short break. We should take a short break.
Valid.
Gonna press the button.
Button.
And we're back. And imagine, if you will, one of the most uninspired presentations you have ever seen about a timeshare.
I passed my inspiration to Frugal. No.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help whether or not you do this. Now, maybe
Sorry,
it's...
I heard uninspired and
and I picked up what you were putting down, and it was glorious.
I think it's
It
still
might-
0.
It might be that somebody has calmed everyone's emotions, so none of you can really get excited about anything right now. But... Actually, no, that's not entirely true, because everyone would have to make a save for that. What was the target save, Chadrick?
14.
14?
Teen.
Okay, so Tex is fine.
Tex known
Are we
for her
rolling for that,
extreme
really?
emotions.
If you want to roll to make sure your emotions are calmed by Chadrick, then roll to see if your emotions are calmed by Chadrick.
It's a wisdom
Okay.
save.
A wisdom save. Well,
Yes.
that's not going to do much for me.
Charisma. Charisma.
Oh, is it a
Charisma.
wisdom save?
Charisma.
Then it would have been a 15.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled a wisdom, but we want charisma, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Trying again.
I just used my
Got a
charisma modifier.
17. Sorry.
Can I just use my charisma modifier on the wisdom roll that I just did? And Hobby's pretty cheerful anyway.
It's, if you want to do the math that way, do the math that way.
I mean, it's a plus. It's an extra plus on the charisma and the. I mean, well,
A, by the
Aw.
way, made their save.
Ooh.
So they are still mortified that they ended up on the lap of a giant hippo person. And they're not being calmed at all by their friend.
Aw.
oh well.
Frugal failed the save, so Frugal is able to give a presentation, but it's not very uplifting. The joy and passion for this that you saw when you first entered the room, okay, not when you first entered, but after a little while, seems to have sort of drained out a little bit, but he's also not as angry at the interruptions or the small, well, no longer small wall of boxes that is forming behind Aldershot that Hobby and Tex have been building. Or
It's
the
a
pile
tiny
of boxes
pile.
behind Minehead, because there's no one behind Minehead to stack them, so Minehead is just tossing them, they're bouncing off the wall.
GIF.
But it doesn't really seem like a good deal. Like, yeah, the cost is low for a timeshare, so that's nice. but I mean, you only get to be there for a few weeks before you gotta get out of there for the cleaning crew to come in for the next group that comes in, and you get charged for any damages. You're not supposed to have wild parties there, and they're only offering 500 Fantasy Hilton points for coming to this timeshare meeting.
Leave when you are. I'm ready to leave when anyone else is.
Frugal,
Through it.
I do have a question for you.
Well, yes.
Do you offer discounts for purchasing multiple week chunks at a time?
Well, I would need to have a conversation with my accountant about that, but I don't see why that wouldn't be possible depending on the amount of time you be purchasing. Our cohort will buy 5. That's Kurg who says that. And Fori and Dirge both look over at Kurg, and I said this when wasn't recording, but for the record, I got Fori's class wrong. Fori is a cleric. I need to read my notes a little bit better. They both look over at Kurg and go, "What? I'll take 20." And that was Aldershot, who stands up quickly,
And I is on the floor.
casting A onto the floor.
A.
Also, the couch is now level again to a varying definition of level. Because it has been sat on by a giant hippo person, so it's now pre-used. Well, post-used.
This is the reason that Tex has been standing the entire time.
Tex does not want to break the furniture.
Tex
Also-
is half a ton of robot.
That's
Also, Tex was positioned quite well, intentionally or otherwise, so that if there had been a flying tabaxi or kobold, Tex might have been able to catch them out of the air.
That was very deliberate.
You are on the second floor, and that is a row of windows over there.
Oh.
Well, you think second floor.
Tex is positioned not only quite well to catch A or Hobby, but Tex is also within 30 feet of everybody in the room.
Kind of ominous that you specified the exact distance range that you have between
I did.
everyone else in the room. Might correlate to someone's movement speed. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine.
I'm sure it's, correlation is not causation, yada yada, all that. Anyway, Aldershot is very emphatically saying that he's going to buy 20 timeshares. Kurg is insisting that he's going to be using cohort funds to buy 5 timeshares. Fori and Dirge are very much against this because cohort funds, Kurg is like, but it'll be great. We'll have a great place to hang out for 10 whole weeks. It'll be fantastic. And Minehead is coming over to very politely yet firmly try to talk Aldershot into anything else. But you've already heard how I RP GIF.
Yes.
So politely and firmly for a GIF is perhaps, I don't want to stereotype, but I am half Irish ancestry. Imagine 2 Irish people having a very polite conversation
top of their lungs.
about where the alcohol is.
Does Frugal only have the one property?
Oh, no, Frugal has more than one property. Frugal has actually not specified how many properties he has, but he has used plural.
Okay. And what's the bi-weekly cost? Yeah, bi-weekly.
Oh, it's a low price of 10,000 gold per week.
Did they give us the cool little booklet of all the different locations?
It's Plantain. So what he has are a stack of flyers on the long table that's there next to Jex and Fori and Dirge that are just vacation flyers for Plantain, not made by Frugal's company.
Reading about the little designs on the circles around the NPCs. Never mind.
I'm worried that A is between Aldershot and Minehead.
A needs a rescue.
Aldershot and Minehead would be face to face if not for the fact that they're hippo people. And there may or may not be a small kobold cowering in fear. Actually, Grovel, Cower, and Beg is one of A's abilities as a kobold.
I am rolling is it a strength check for grapple?
Yes.
That's a dirty 20.
A does not contest this.
I am moving A off to the side. Here.
Wah! A rolls like a soccer ball.
And then I am going to stand up to my full height, take my hammer off my back, where I assume it is magnetically clamped, pound it into the ground lightly enough that it's not going to damage the carpet.
There is a security deposit.
Yes, or the subflooring, and amplify my voice a little bit to say, I assure you, I am more than capable of breaking up any fight that ensues. Please restrain yourselves.
Aldershot and Minehead both turn towards you, and you have the distinct experience of stereo as they say, "We're merely having a polite conversation."
I'm sure you are. I am letting you know that if this conversation graduates to less than polite, I will step in.
Kirk comes over and pokes you with a finger. It's, well, Kirk is kind of beefy, so it's you do get the sensation that someone is poking you with a finger, but you're a 7-foot-tall murder machine, so it doesn't have that much effect. It doesn't push you back or anything. Where do you come in? You're not even buying any timeshares. Why are you even here?
Stand next to Tex, and I'm just ready to, like, don't forget, I do have the ability of, what was it? I just looked at it. Rebuke the violent. So I am ready to stop a fight.
Chadrick has pulled a cloth glove out of somewhere and is ready to smack a gif across the face.
Yeah, I'm also ready to cast sleep or whatever else I need to.
Chadrick's material component... Sorry, you go.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was going to make a bad joke. You continue.
I was also going to make a bad joke.
Your bad joke than mine.
I insist, because I'm not sitting at my computer at the moment.
Okay, fine. Chadrick's material component for casting sleep is an entire keg.
That's fair.
Is that also what I need to cast Hold Person?
No.
Or Zone of Truth? Is that just what I need to do anything?
No, that's 3 shots.
So what's the spell that gives nausea?
Gallstones.
Yeah, well. Okay, I have rethought my bad joke. Kurg, we represent an organization that would value access to a property in Plantain. However, if you intend to occupy that property, we will not contest it.
Frugal comes over and, comes over is a relative term. Moves tentatively closer, but out of reach of anyone with large weapons that aren't ranged. Friends, there are plenty of properties for all of you. How many may I put you down for?
Kurg, if your friends are amenable, I suggest that you purchase as many weeks as you can.
Dirge grabs hold of Kurg's arm and pulls not so gently and says, "We're not amenable to any properties. We're saving up, remember?"
Plot!
I think Chadrick has inspiration.
Sounds like
I'm totally missing out on whatever that was. But,
Yeah, I didn't hear it either, but...
Oh!
I don't know why that hit me so hard. I don't know why that hit me so hard, but Chadrick... Milo is most upset that you are in the middle of some plot development happening in the middle of a timeshare meeting.
Yeah, the second I heard the we're about to do a planet invasion, I was like, oh.
No. The line was, "We're saving up, remember?"
Yeah.
They want to spend the money on something else that isn't a timeshare. Like you, they were probably only here for the free lunch until Kirk got it in his thick skull that he wanted to buy 5 shares. Where was I?
One share and hobby. Maybe you could consider like 1 share and see if it's actually fun.
See if it's for you.
Sample before you buy. That's what you have to do that. You get part of the book before you get all of the book.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh, persuasion.
Question in a chat.
Why do I keep rolling these things? That's a terrible roll. No dice love me. Dice hate me.
So I'm going to resolve what happens for this roll as soon as I answer Milo's question. So here's the thing. Chadrick, we're going to say yes. Chadrick's greats abridged, grandfather did have a Fantasy Hilton Vacation member reward program. Unfortunately, you don't have that card. However, if you know that person's contact information, you can probably have them look it up and give you a new card.
And his
I would keep my
Chadwick.
Yeah, I thought that I would keep my my rewards cards in my wallet with me at all times.
But you're
Supposed to.
great to the eighth grandfathers?
No, like
Yeah.
the thing is, it's a grandfathered in, as in everyone has it because my whatever amount of great grandfather bought in a thing.
I got
You know what? I'll allow it. I will allow it. Now, on to the persuasion roll. Hobby,
Yep.
you made some excellent points, but right now, Aldershot and Minehead are having a polite conversation around Chadrick, possibly through Chadrick, but mostly around Chadrick. They are slightly taller than Chadrick is. And Kurg and Dirge are having a similar conversation, perhaps less polite, but lower volume because they are not hippo people.
Well, Hobby
Fori is
does
kind
not
of sinking into his chair somewhat. Sorry?
That's all right. Hobby does not entirely have a personal stake in this, so
Meanwhile, Jex is looking bored.
Mech is
That-
moving closer to the loud hippos in case something goes down, and she
There's
can end it.
a bored bard.
Yes,
This is
a bored
dangerous. This is dangerous. Hobby knows what happens when Cavil gets bored.
bard. They are also not blue. They are the one member of this party that is not blue skinned. So they are they are a non-blue bored bard.
What is Kurg wearing?
Armor, plate armor.
Can I read the
Text.
hippo's minds?
You can attempt it.
Tex is going to pick Kurg up by the back of the plate armor.
Please give me a grapple check. We have never
Oh,
used
wow.
grapple this many times in a single
I-
session.
Have just done so, and I rolled a 23.
Well, this is going to be contested,
Is not going for it.
and that's an 11.
Oh,
Funny thing, it's really hard to stop someone from picking you up by the back of your armor when your arms don't bend that way.
And also, when she's at least a foot taller than you are.
There's also that. Frugal's yelling, "Friends, friends, friends!" No one is listening to Frugal in that is an NPC, except maybe A. But
Oh, I'm listening to Frugal. I'm just also saying, Kurg, perhaps it is time to listen to what your companions have to say.
Kurg is yelling about putting him down.
I will do so when you calm down.
Kurg is going to make a roll because I don't see any way he can do this without making a roll.
Oh.
Kurg tries to pull his greatsword. Now, his greatsword is strapped behind his back. You have picked him up by the back of his
By
armor
the back of his armor.
and have one hand is grabbing him by the scruff of what would be the neck, but like the armor portion, and the
Yeah,
other
pretty
hand
much.
is like in the small of his back to hold him up. And that hand has pinned his greatsword to his armor, which is how I'm interpreting the nat 1 I just rolled.
Ooh,
Dang.
oh.
Kurg,
Dang.
I strongly encourage you to listen to me.
Dirge says, "Look, friend, could you put him down? We were having a polite conversation until you butted in."
I believe we have different definitions of polite.
Does he have any
But-
stab wounds?
Very
No,
polite
but
conversation.
given his behavior, he was about to try to give me some. However, if you choose, I will put him down, bearing in mind that I can do this again at any time I choose.
I imagine
And I
you
put him
certainly
down.
will try. Okay, so you put him down.
I turn him the other way around, and I put him down, so he's facing Dirge again.
In my head canon, the way you picked him up, you never actually changed which way he was facing, so he didn't actually get to turn and look at you the entire time you were talking.
Oh, I was imagining that I picked him up and then turned him around, so I was looking at him.
Whichever way is funnier is canon. Let the audience decide.
To vote for turning him around, press 1 now.
You already have inspiration, you're not getting more. Okay, and I have to share this because Milo is a treasure. So Chadrick is over in the corner, has pulled A out of the way, and is over in the corner eating leftover chip bags.
Yeah, I realized that this isn't going to go the way I was hoping it would, not like it does in the future, so I'm planning on probably heading to the Kobold soon, because I did promise I would help them with their nightmare thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to eat all the rest of the Lay's chips.
Okay, make a wisdom save.
Oh, no. Wait, don't I have... If it's a psychic thing, don't forget I resist that.
Yeah, that means you won't have to roll disadvantage.
7.
Ooh.
You know,
How about my inspiration?
you could spend your inspiration.
Don't.
If you want to,
No, I thought that's what he said. I was trying to ask.
you could spend your inspiration, is what he said.
I
If
feel
you
like
wish
I
to spend your
should.
inspiration, then spend your inspiration. I am here for this content whichever way it goes.
18.
Okay, for a moment, as you were eating these chips, you felt like a timeshare would actually be a pretty good idea. Imagine all the parties you could have at a timeshare. And then that moment goes away. Like, you have parties here, you don't need to go to Plantain.
Especially for 10,000 gold.
You're almost at
Whatever
the
it
same
was.
latitude. It's warm all the time. You are constantly sweating in your armor.
But even if I wanted to go to Plantain, I could use that 10,000 to have like a bar hop.
Also, you
Yep.
don't have 10,000 gold.
That too.
And that's per week, and they're sold in 2-week increments.
Oh my goodness gracious. I've learned from my dog walking days, I'm poor.
There's plenty of financing opportunities available.
Question
We
for the
need to
GM.
kiss and we're bouncing.
What would you roll to try to determine if someone had magicked the food or poisoned it or whatever?
I'm just going to use the flagstone.
Teleport.
Chadrick. Chadrick, how are you and A feeling at the moment?
So here's the best part. You have to verbalize whatever you're sending through the flagstone. So
Yeah,
Tex is
but-
still saying this. But this is probably the only way that Chadrick can hear Tex
I was going
over
to say
top of everyone arguing.
there are two arguments happening between me and Tex right now.
Tex, all we have to do is read each other's minds. Give me a moment.
By the way, Chadrick, you did mention earlier before lots of distractions happened. It's a very noisy situation. If you could read someone's mind, whose mind do you want to read?
There was a changing, so now I think I'm just going to chat with Tex across the room.
Okay. This is also good.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to eat these chips, me and A here, to get some more food, and then I think we should bounce and do that whole kobold thing I promised.
A is chewing on one of the forks.
Extra fiber. Good job, buddy.
A gives it a yank and a tooth comes out.
Ooh.
Hope those
it was
regrow.
due anyway.
Hope those things regrow.
Yeah, we're like sharks. Or sharks are like kobolds.
Is
One of
Chadrick
those.
planning on communicating his experience to anyone else?
At this point, Chadrick has communicated with you to let you know that A is getting fiber.
And also letting you know that I'm okay with leaving at any time to do the kobold mission we agreed to do.
Very well.
Let's leave this plot where it is and go.
Chadrick is starting to break out in a rash.
Yeah, I
He's
can
allergic
sense
to plot.
storylines happening.
I must go. The plot needs me. You're moving away from the plot. Yes, it needs me, and I don't want that. It's so needy.
I think it's a little too codependent on me. I need to get out of here.
Hobby would like to stand up on the back of the abused couch and see if who ate their food actually
I'm
of the 3-4 people.
Jex didn't eat anything. Everyone else ate at least something.
Don't forget, I'm resistant to psychic damage. I thought it was delicious.
However, I am. Are we still telepathically linked? Or
Yeah.
do I need to use the flagstone?
No, I'm still looking at you.
I have not had the experience of eating food.
Would you like to
And
experience
so-
it in me?
I am very curious about what eating food feels like for others.
Okay. I eat more food while making sure he can feel it. This is a really weird situation, but we're doing it.
No. That's not what I was asking.
What? What
Can
do
you
you
tell me
want?
the experience that you had eating this food?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was a little too salty. Kind of mushy.
Did it give you feelings that you were not expecting? Even briefly.
No, not me. I mean, I guess I thought about for a second how much timeshares are fun, and then I remembered the fact that they get cooler in the future, and right now they're kind of lame. So, that was
Truly.
it.
Thank you. That is valuable information. Jax,
None of the rest of us can hear this. You know?
that's why I wanted to use the flagstone.
Yes.
Jax,
Yeah,
how do you feel about the timeshares?
we're in mixed company.
No,
I
I don't know
see.
anything. I don't know.
Hobby,
I
mentally, high
understand
fives
very well.
checks.
Jex has assumed that A is a child.
Valid.
Also, possibly
Mine-
Kurg.
Minehead, Kurg, would you please excuse me?
Paying attention to you.
You're talking to Minehead and Kurg.
Yes.
Give me a performance check. That's an
Okay.
intimidation check.
Oh.
But I'll take that. They don't hear you.
They're the same role.
Same roll. I was just going to take the intimidation check as the roll, but yeah, they're both the same roll. They don't hear you. They are in deep conversation with their compatriots, and some of the conversation is sort of like, at some point, you're pretty sure Kurg is replying to something that Minehead said,
hmm
or vice versa. So it's just getting into a whole lot of arguing.
I will say loudly enough, probably loudly enough that everybody in the room hears me. Hopefully loud enough that the staff outside hears me. I apologize in advance for breaking this table.
Can't admit you.
Jack says, "No, stop, don't.
Hey, Jex, got a quick question for you.
If you have to.
Do you detect magic?
Sometimes."
Can you detect some magic on... Hobby is going to hold up her uneaten box of food.
Oh, right.
Did it
Hobby
really
saved
taste
the
that
box.
good to you?
I said, oh, right. Hobby saved the box.
I
And
eat
Jack
birds.
said, did it really taste that good to you?
I didn't eat any.
Oh, I thought this was one of those things about being magical food. Whatever.
Is it magic food?
Well, yeah, it was. And Jex then looks over at Frugal. Forey, who was trying to be invisible in his chair, also looks over at Frugal.
Tex is also looking at Frugal.
And Mech's gonna go around the other side of Frugal.
Oh,
we have
I was...
next.
Now, friends, we're all friends here.
Hey, I think we should go outside.
What did you feed them?
Why?
People should
It's about
have-
to get entertaining. Oh.
Would Frugal like to eat this ham sandwich here?
It's
I brought
Oh,
A outside to not see the violence.
I get terrible gas. I try to save my meals for after the presentations.
Ah.
You seem very convincing. What if I could offer you a
Hey, I would
5%
like,
interest on financing?
Make Frugal
That's well
do a
below market
wisdom saving
rates.
throw.
Would you pickle?
Can Frugal do a wisdom saving throw?
Probably not.
I don't know if you can, but we're gonna find out, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Meanwhile, the PCs are trying to chase Frugal around.
I love how we're just moving on the map as we're having this conversation. That's a
Yeah,
14.
we are, yeah.
That is a
Back
14.
away, back away.
14.
Yeah. What did Frugal get?
A 14.
Oh, that's the save. Does that mean he doesn't get it?
That means he makes the save.
Dang it! I tried
Ties will go to the
cast
attacker
Word
for
on
attack
him.
rolls, but for saves, the target number means the success.
At this point, I'm putting my hand on Frugal's shoulder from behind.
Well,
Give me a
I
grapple
failed my
check.
spell, so I'm gonna go back outside and sit with A so he doesn't watch the violence.
Another grapple.
Now, granted, that's only a 10.
I'm spending
And
my
you're going
inspiration
against
on
a
that
wizard.
to make it a 21.
Wow.
All right, I'm rolling
Let's get the
versus the
inspiration
21.
back.
You're trying to grapple a wizard. Well, that's actually a very respectable roll from a wizard. That's a 17.
Wow.
A and I are having a nice adventure right now.
But here's the thing. When you go to pick him up, your arms go right through him.
Are you kidding me?
It's a construct.
The illusion
a
disappears.
construct.
Frugal is over here by the door.
Curses.
It's like, look, I'm sure we can come to arrangement later. I'll send you a pamphlet. Have a wonderful day. And Frugal goes
I'm-
through the door.
I am tapping I am tapping the flagstone as soon as that happens. Chadrick, restrain him.
I'm here.
Chadrick, give me a grapple check. Or should
Nope.
we have Chadrick make a wisdom save versus being useful?
Wisdom save for being useful, please.
Oh, come on. Someone's
You just
running
were told
through
to
you.
grab
You
a
gotta
wizard.
grapple. Well, no one said it was a wizard.
I guess I got a 10.
Yeah, I'd say you decide this is entertaining enough to do. Also, this guy put A at risk.
Yeah.
What was your grapple check? I don't remember the number. You just rolled it. It was a 6.
Not good.
I got an
Hmm.
8. So it
Slowed him
is.
down.
It is a very ineffective grapple, followed by a only slightly less ineffective attempt at getting out of the grapple. It is the Dexter versus Mandark slap fight equivalent
Oh,
of
no.
grapple checks.
Hey, Crash.
Yes.
Crash, to assist with my lackluster grapple, though, I would like to get into his brain and start screaming like the hamster dance.
Meanwhile, Mech is following
As you
Frugal.
do this, give me a perception check.
23.
That's
no.
not the only tune in that head of his.
Oh no.
You also hear very faintly dun 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 dun.
Oh no.
It sounds like an echo.
Who are you?
A don't move in front of Frugal yet. You attempted a grapple. Okay? That's your action. A is trying something.
Oh no.
Oh.
Let A have a time to shine or fail hard.
Yes!
It's possibly both. Possibly both.
We love A.
A casts no spell because A is not that kind of rogue.
Yet.
Who says A is going to take that path?
Me
didn't
not
know.
that kind of a kobold.
I don't really know what subclass of Rouge this is, but I made a pact.
What?
What?
Oh no.
Okay, A, what are you doing?
Well, let me roll. A attempts a grapple.
That-
I got a
That
16
was a
for A,
legitimately
including the
impressive-
negative. What was that?
Legitimately impressive grapple check.
Yeah, what?
Yes.
Does A grab Frugal around the knees, locking the
I
knees
got
together?
a 4 for Frugal. So here's what happens. A doesn't actually try to do a full grapple. A is a tiny kobold, and A is pretty sure that even attempting to grapple a wizard, but what happened would be Frugal starts to hobble away while there's a kobold attached to his leg. This would be embarrassing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Instead, A sees Chadrick attempting to do the grapple check, and Frugal getting out of the way, so A goes behind Frugal and gets on their hands and knees. And Frugal is now prone.
Yes!
We did it.
But because it's a grapple check, A then jumps on top of Frugal and
Okay.
tries to grab Frugal by the clothing. This, by the way, this part, everyone who's seeing this happen knows that this part is totally ineffectual. Even a wizard is not going to be pinned by this small kobold. So it's only a matter of time. Unless 2 murder machines
Yes.
Right there.
step up on either side to prevent me from finishing that sentence,
I
which
have
appears to
posted
be
the
what has happened
appropriate
on the
GIF.
map.
GIF.
What was that?
I have posted the appropriate GIF.
All right. So, now that you're somewhat pinned by a kobold and likely not to fight both of us,
Could I?
you should stop feeding people magic stuff against their knowledge.
Could I perhaps interest you in a timeshare ski resort in Coomridge?
Just
no.
stick the pickle in his mouth.
That was
a
an
little bit of a
accidental
pickle
roll. That was
situation, now,
I-
wasn't it?
You accidentally rolled a 12 to hit.
Pickle's
it
permanently
genuinely
in
what you have to understand. I have a twitch in my right hand that makes me
Right.
that makes my fingers.
Understandable.
Real life situation, I totally understand. In game, I'm imagining Tex trying to use the kid gloves because biologicals are squishy.
Right.
Also trying to stick a pickle in his mouth.
Rolling to
wants to
hit with
stick
them
a
all anyway, though.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just going to set this down over here. Oh, wait, that was your leg. Ooh.
Oh, snap.
no,
Yes, that was the sound it made. You're right.
I seriously was moving my mouse across the screen and it clicked at exactly the wrong time.
So funny, though.
Yes.
So in another
you step away
timeline, this
from-
occurs, but not this one.
Yes, exactly. Loki's applauding somewhere, but never mind about that.
Kevin's having a laugh. Continue.
Yeah, Kevin's having a laugh, then he turns to the page of the comic that he's reading, totally oblivious to all of this because he is not appearing in this film.
hmm
Wise.
He's a period film.
Can I do a sleight of hand to stick the pickle in his in Frugal's mouth?
You know what? Sure, I will allow that roll. It's not the weirdest thing that's happened tonight.
True.
That is
With
a
a
lousy
16,
roll.
you successfully force feed the wizard a pickle.
Or at least enough of it that he stops talking about timeshares. Chalk.
Well, that was his last-ditch effort to avoid apprehension. He's very apprehensive about being apprehended.
Weird.
He should be, because now he has a pickle.
I set the head of my hammer down at the crown of his head and kneel down and say, "My friends are very upset with you, and perhaps it is time for you to follow their instructions."
The little old lady who was wheeling the cart earlier is looking through the door going, "Oh, dearie, that's a bit of a mess to clean up. Well, my
He will
shift
be
is over for the
responsible
day."
for it.
It's Frugal's job to clean up this mess now.
When's your shift over so we can make sure that this lasts until after you leave?
It ended right before I looked through that door, dearie.
Perfect. Have a great day, ma'am.
You too, dearie.
She's just walking away.
Yeah. She is not going to be bothered by this. She sticks her head through this door and says,
Not
"Tell the
today.
old man I quit."
Not
Starts
today.
walking off in this direction now.
She's leaving.
There's a bit more of a spring in her step as she's walking now.
Well, if you just, she could just quit.
She is
so-
free. She's free.
Point.
I
Yeah?
hand A the 50 feet of rope that I have.
I'm just a little shocked that I sound like a little old lady. Or does the little old lady sound like me?
The little old lady sounds like you. It's an
Okay.
homage. Would
No,
you
I don't
please-
want any omelets today.
I love it.
Would you please tie this man's hands and feet, using as much of this rope as you need to?
This is my time to shine.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make the best sleight of hand check. That's an 11. I use all the rope.
Excellent.
Well, that's one way to do it.
You cannot see the hands or the feet. They are embalmed in rope. It is
Are they
effective.
Are they tied together?
Is he
Um,
hog-tied or just,
Hogtied is an appropriate description, except usually when you hogtie something, you don't see a sphere of rope.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a fair cop. Mech, would you like to carry him, or shall I?
Oh, I'll pick him up. No problem. Excuse me, you might want to move.
So
Perfectly happy to let the bounty hunter do it.
Mm-hmm.
and
This
we're,
is right up my alley. I could totally do this. I have done this for years.
we are going
Usually
to.
they're not very alive after that, though.
I love everything about this. We are going to end this session with the sounds of argument still happening inside the meeting room.
Oh yeah, at this point this is somebody else's problem.
Well,
Mhm.
yes,
Hey,
definitely.
we have places to go. Come on, child.
One of the receptionists peeking their head through the door from the lobby, saying, "I don't think you're supposed to abduct people."
Well, I can.
Well, you're also not supposed to magically trick them through food without informing them. So, what do you do?
Yeah, it's not really
so
our problem.
Mech is holding this Frugal over her shoulders as best she can and is heading for the door with them.
We can
Yeah.
call it a citizen's arrest. Thank you
Sure,
for having
why
me
not?
stay.
He paid in advance. I guess it's fine. I'll say I was under duress and my shift was over anyway. And she closes the door behind her.
That's the night crew today.
I did.
And that's how we're going to end this session. Thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. My name has been Crash, and I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Jen, and Milo.
Ellie was here? Jeez.
Yes, it's one of the many reasons why this session was so darned enjoyable. So who wants to plug a thing?
EO's mom, EO not appearing, writes books. Elizabeth-McCoy.com. And Hobby has a pamphlet.
Yes.
You can say I write books.
Oh, it's a thing though.
I know.
EO's mom books. TM.
And speaking of books,
I suppose it means me. Okay, so my website is bookofgen.net. It's got book reviews and a lot of Diablo stuff and whatever else I try to write. when I have the time. So it's bookofgen.net. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is about all the Diablo games and the company that makes them, and that kind of thing. New episodes come out every Saturday. You can also find a list of everything I talk about in the show at shatteredsoulstone.com.
And speaking of websites,
Sorry, you go.
Oh, I run a website called elek.xyz. That's ELEKK.xyz. I had to think about it. I've had a long day. It's I'm never gonna say it correctly because my brain doesn't work anymore.
No, this is funnier.
It's a website.
It's a federated social media,
I'm never gonna say it correctly.
but it also defederates from the social media that aren't as fun as Elec.
Yeah, I defederate from the ones who are mean.
Or have,
Yeah.
like, Nazis or people from Kiwi farms or all the other horribleness that's out there.
Same. You know?
indeed.
But that's the same thing, Crash, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I can repeat myself. I'm the DM
Sure.
True.
and a
true.
teacher. Repeating myself
Yes.
is part of the job.
I can
Speaking
verify
of the
that.
DM, and speaking of the DM,
Yes, the DM has a Patreon to help keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons. Well, you can get it at patreon.com/cogwheelgaming and join the illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Mickey, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy.
and speaking of Cogwheel Gaming,
I just
that's
did
your
think
website.
Well-
Your website. You post a link to your website.
Well, where do you think they're listening to it from?
I mean, you can get it
iTunes?
on.
Amazon.
Oh, that's
Google.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
It,
I
it
click
makes
people-
sense, but to be fair, that was my first thought too. Like, but didn't they go to my website? No, it didn't have to go to my website. But AaronBSmith.com/cogwheel is where you can go to get more episodes like this. Some that are more serious than this, but why?
Too.
Yeah, if you want more silliness, go for the Kobold ones or this ones too. These ones too. These are good.
And
So
speaking
until
of the
next
end
time.
of the episode,
So until next time, this is Crash saying. Just have that fade out. While an old man dances in front of a bus.
yeah.
Gosh, I can do that dance.
Oh,
Good night, everybody.
good night.